Hey guys, welcome to this first look at the Steam Deck. In the video we'll be looking at a few games running, looking at Steam OS, which is the desktop environment it runs on. We'll end up with my final thoughts, but first we'll look at some close-up images of it. Looking from the top, we can see a USB-C slot which can deliver both TV out as well as power in. Looking closer, there's both an analog trigger and digital bumper button. From this angle, we can see a digital back grip buttons, volume controls as well as headphone socket. From here we can see how ergonomic it is and see it is very easy to hold. This grip is very comfortable. From the front we can see a digital D-pad, two analog controls, A, X, Y, B, two clickable trackpads, a Steam button on the left and a button with three dots on the right. Both the Steam button and this button brings up various menus. Every other button is completely configurable. You can control them to do anything you want, be it a mouse click, a keyboard press or a standard joystick click. Moving on to its size, below is a 13-inch laptop. As you can see, it's the same width but it's a bit thicker. On the left is a Steam Deck, in the middle is a switch and using a third-party controls and a switch light on the right. And here's various selection of devices including Steam controller, which would have heavily influenced the Steam Deck. And finally, here's the UK power plug. First up we have Circuit Superstars running at high settings. This is a very simple game to run and it runs pretty well on the Steam Deck. Now we will have another video running just games. We're going to actually do a video just for train games running installed from Steam. That'll be the next video. After that I plan to do two train games, which is Trains and Train Sim World 2, which are non-Steam games running. Let's see how they actually install and run. So that'll be the next two videos. This video has got a small selection of games sort of dotted through it. Next we have Grid. This is the 2019 version, PC version. As you might just be able to see the settings, but essentially it's low settings for this game. I thought I'd throw it in because, again, it's a great little game which is easy to configure. It's controlled so you don't have to do anything. You install it and it just works. And it's a bit more demanding than the previous game. Now let's look at Steam OS itself. Once you've logged into the device, you'll be taken to this page. So this is kind of your home page, showing what your recent activity is. Well, what's new down here. And some special offers. You can also look at what your friends are doing and some recommended. Now if we go upwards, now I'm using my D-pad, so that's the digital up, down, left, right. And the A button and B button. You've got your Wi-Fi, I won't take you to that. You've got your battery. And you've got your account. Your account is where you can log back out again. So if we look at the battery, that will turn up the right hand menu. Now there's a button on the front of the device with three dots on. Now you would have seen that by now. And you can actually bring that up as well that way. So on this page, right at the top, shows you the battery. It's plugged in at the moment, so it's charging. The overview, so when we've got a game open on the top left hand of the screen, we've got, at the moment it just shows the FPS, but if I click the A button and then move it up and down, it will show different levels of information. By default we just have the basic view, but we want to show the more advanced stuff. Now I have it set to 60, but you can lock it to 30, that will save some battery. By default this is off. But when you switch it on, you get to choose the wattage. Now, I've left it to 8 at most, but it can go all the way up to 15 and all the way down to 3. The less you have it, the longer your battery life will remain. But some games won't perform that well. So it's up to you to find a sort of a happy medium of what sort of wattage you want to use. You've got stuff like this, GPU clock frequency, scaling. I don't understand enough about that to try messing with that. Now this is for scaling. You've got 4 types, and if you put it on FSR, one of the ways to save battery is to lower the resolution, but it becomes rather blurry. So what this will do, FSR, will actually try and sharpen the picture up a bit more. So then you have to decide how much you want it. Down here, or we get the menu here, we've got the help, go up to here, the brightness, again, turn the brightness down will help with the battery. Battery is a big thing on this. It doesn't last an awful long time. Players and notifications. So if I press B, we go back into the main menu. Now I'm going to press the Steam button, which brings up a menu on the left. So you're in the home at the moment. We've got the library, we've got the store, friends and chat, media, probably never going to use that. Downloads, what you download at the moment, settings, power. So we'll show power at the moment. Library is all your games. Now at the top, we've got all games, which I own, installed, and supposedly these are the ones which are good on this device or not great on deck. And then across to here's non-Steam, Heroic Game Launcher, some apps. This is an app I've installed, like a YouTube app I've installed. It's a non-Steam game, Firefox, Emulator Station, Cemu. Now this is interesting. Now the Heroic Games Launcher allows you to play GOG and Epic games on a Linux device. This is a Linux device, so I could install it, and I signed in. I installed SnowRunner. It works perfectly, but it won't launch from here. It's a bit like Windows. If you try and actually search out the exe from Windows and try and click on it, it won't actually run. That's pretty much it, really. So you'll select a game, and then it will open and run. This is a control over here. You'll be using quite a bit. The settings. So this is something you can do in any Steam account. You can actually set the layout of your controller, and certainly with this, you're going to need to do that quite a bit. The sort of games I play are mostly keyboard games, and so you have to make the game think you're running a keyboard in some sort of fashion. So it has a trackpad, so that becomes your mouse, and click on that trackpad, that becomes the left click button. You got the A, X, B, Y buttons, so you got your D-pad here. At the moment it's set to do arrow up, but you can make it set to do anything. There you go. Make it do a keypad if you want it to. So you'll be in here quite a lot when setting games up. Once it's done, you save it. You must make sure you save it, because I set some up and I didn't. So you go there and you go export layout. It's just saving it. That's all that means. Then here you can add it to favorites. You can manage it, or properties. If it's a Windows game and it's not actually directly made for Linux, then you only want to force it to be to use Steam Play. And then from there it's Proton, and you choose the version which you want to use. I'm using Experimenter, but I found 7.01 seems to work as well. Updates. This is exactly the same as you'll find in the main Steam on any PC. Apart from Workshop, I don't believe this is in here. So let's click on it. It's actually happened. So this will be the normal Steam page for this game. And then obviously you launch your game. What we're going to look at now is the main desktop, because the game, the SteamDeck, actually comes with the game mode, which is this, and it comes with a full Linux desktop. It uses the KDE desktop. Not my favourite, but it does work. So for that, you press Steam, go to the power, and then switch to desktop. So when you go into desktop mode, you'll get something very similar to this. You might get a different desktop picture, because I think I've changed it, but other than that, it'll be pretty much similar to this. You also might be in dark mode, so you might see this in dark. but as you can see, it's configurable. To the left, you've got your start menu. Got different sections here. You can add things to favourites. You can search. Got sleep, restart, shutdown. Very simple buttons. Taskbar to the bottom. You can add more taskbars if you want to. Notifications I've switched off. This is a keyboard I've downloaded. You can, by pressing the Steam key and the X key on the unit, actually bring up the main keyboard. But I found this, because I'm using capture software right now to actually record things, I found it's not working that well. So I have downloaded this one. This is the Heroic Store. I'll show that in a second. This is Steam, so pretty much we'd see in a Windows environment. You right click it, you get different options. Click away. Now I'm using the, well, I'm actually using a mouse right now to do this, but you can actually use the right trackpad, which I'm now actually using. What do we have here? We've got Bluetooth, so these are the things I've got connected. I've got, well, I haven't got a keyboard connected yet, or my headphones connected, but I've got my mouse connected. Yep, we've got battery, we've got basic settings here, so we've got the display, you won't see that, but that now is going up and down, the screen colour. 98% charge, which is good because it was running rather low. Volume, so all the bits and bobs. There you go. And press here, you get a few extra things, status, notifications. Click on the time, you get a little calendar. And if you press here, it just basically clears everything like it did on a Windows desktop. Now, there are various apps, and one of them is, well, this is about the system. Click down, it shows you memory uses, that sort of stuff, energy. Right, so, apps. Appearance at the top here, so we can change themes and stuff. So if I click on there, click apply, I think a double click would have done it. Now it's all gone all dark. Change the desktop? No, it hasn't. Let's try Oxygen. Might be an old Windows version. What about Vapor? If I double click that, does it just change? It does. That's quite nice, that one. But I prefer the light one. So these are the default ones. I've not installed any further. But you can actually get some new ones. If you want to change the look, you can. You can see people rated them. How is it searching? Recent. So let's highest rated. Windows, of course. You can see you can have the menu to the left if you wish to. Actually, you might be able to see that, but you can. We try downloading that one and click install. If we click on, double click on there, that's quite nice. Maybe a different desktop for that. Configure desktop. I'll click. What would go well with that one then? So these are all inbuilt. Again, I think you can get more new wallpapers here. What about that? Apply. It's fine. So this here, let's go to that. So when you load into this, this is the store. This is where you can download things. So it's called Discover. This is its front page. Everything's basically free. You've got applications. So let's apply. Yep. I think that's easier. Right, so the top left, we've got applications, application add-ons, and Plasma add-ons. Plasma's the desktop, so you can download things for it from here. maybe these widgets and different kinds of things. You can see icons and global themes. Applications is what it is, and well, for instance, you could download some games. Oh, a very famous game, Tux Superkart. There you go. So anyway, you'd basically be able to click on it. You'd click install, and then it's downloaded. It's it's simple stuff really. Now, one thing I did install from here is the Heroic games. So now you can actually, well, should we use the keyboard? No, we can use the one I've downloaded. Where is it? Here. Click on there. Please, come up. That's it. Good. So we click on there. H. Is it going to show? Nope, it's not. Notice the... I've noticed this a few times. That's why it's better to actually plug in a keyboard to this thing. Is it going to crash now? Quite possibly. H. Alright. E. No, it's done it again. H. E. R. Here we go, we got it. Right, so you got to do it before it starts moving. You can see I've already installed it. It says remove. But if we click on it, I might get rid of this keyboard. What you get, you actually are able then to download Epic and GOG games using it, and it will play on the system quite nicely. So once you've installed it, you get to this screen, and you simply log in with your account details. It works. It works really well. And where is it? Where are you? That's my desktop info Heroic. So it's installed. So you get your menu down here. So these are the actual stores. So this is exactly the same as you see on the website, or you'd see if you actually logged in directly with their own application. At the moment, it's insurmountable. Insurmountable are really good looking. I saw a YouTuber play this the other day. Might actually put it on the channel. XCOM 2, both of these are absolutely free from Epic right now. And, oh, you got GOG as well. Good old games. So you can do your purchases from here if you wish to. Now, if you click on Library, now, right here actually says recently played. Now I'm clicked on Epic. So these are my other Epic games. Now in a future video, I have Train Sim World somewhere on here, number 2. I think it's 2 I've got on here. So what I'm going to do is install it via here and we'll try it out. Now I also have Train Sim World 2 on Steam, so that will be on part of another future video as well, which will be on, we'll be testing train games out on here. So this is my GOG library. Again, there's Scrapnauts, which I was lucky enough to be given. And as you can see, it's pretty simple to install something. You click on it, and click install, and it's done. And it will show up, and you can just click on it and play it. Now, this is a handheld device, so you don't particularly want to be on this desktop unless you really have to. So what you really want to do is try and put your applications, your games, into Steam so you can launch them all from Steam. It's very simple to do that. You go add game, add a non-Steam game, and then whatever you've installed, you click on it. If you can't find it there, you then browse it and find it from there. And once you've added them, they will then show up into your library. Now, as you can see, this is just the normal desktop version of Steam here, and you can play your games on this if you wish to. So there's Scrapnaut, which I've added that. You can add applications as well as games. You can add anything you want really as VLC. There's SnowRunner, which you saw earlier from Heroic, but actually Epic Games won't actually load directly. So I've tried that, it won't work. So I've actually loaded the Heroic Games launcher directly. So from here I'd launch that, and then I'd launch from that within that the game. And again, it still works. It's just an extra click to launch a game. Now we're back in the game mode again. So if I press Steam, go to Library, and we're in non-Steam. I want to load up Heroic to show you what it actually looks like. So then we get to this menu, we click Play. As you can see, we're exactly where we were before. Now we're using the right trackpad now to actually navigate. So let's load up SnowRunner. Now in game mode, the main Steam controls show us as X inputs, so they will work on most games. We're in board list right now, so all of the games will be pretty low. And we might have to play with them, the actual settings, to make sure that actually you get a reasonable FPS. At the moment you can see top left it says 47, 48. What we can do is, now we talked about this earlier, so we go into here, go down to battery, go to click on performance level, click it to 2. There we go, a few more. So you can see they show up a bit more. Don't know how much you want, how much detail you want. I think 2 is probably sufficient. So what we got? I haven't actually loaded this game in yet, so 41 FPS. Okay. What we got? 35, 29. We haven't even started now. I'm struggling, but you see it working. There you go. It is working. We are stuck against a rock now. I don't remember half of this scenery. Has it changed since I've... Are you gonna winch? Unless that's no. Oh yeah, winch connected. Oh, I found the key for it. That's good. Wow, we actually got off of there. That's good. Good for us. So we're going to park it in the petrol station, and then that's it for this game. So we can also try Scrap Naught. See, there you go. Is that, well, very similar to what we played the other day. We did play this once, didn't we? So if we actually go across to installed, this is a video we're doing right now. FPS wise, it's what, 44%, 37 FPS. Now I have noticed, even on my gaming computer, that the FPS drops as you build stuff, and that's natural. So how well this will actually fare later on, I don't know. Certainly tonight's episode, which actually is as I'm recording this starts to become water. Yeah. I forgot how red it was at the beginning. Good game. Very addictive, this little game. So, my final thoughts. I love the Steam Deck, but can I recommend it? It's very difficult to. The problem is that it's a little too big to be a handheld on its own and a little too small to replace a laptop. It certainly has the power to replace a laptop, but whereas with a laptop you only would need to buy the laptop, With this you'd need to buy a mouse, a keyboard, a USB hub and external monitor, which wouldn't make it very portable. I took it out the other day for a trip I made on the train. Before I left I made sure everything was working, placed it into offline mode and off I went. When I switched it on though, nothing including the non-Steam games would load. Everything crashed until I gave it an internet connection. Turns out it wanted an update to something even though I'd only checked a few hours before, and it was in offline mode. After I fixed the issue, everything loaded fine for the rest of the day. The battery lasted around 4 hours and it was fine. From taking it out though, and this was the reason I took it, I could see, for me at least, it was far too big. It's larger than the standard Switch and it's awkward to carry. It did fit in my jacket's inside pocket, but it would never fit in the trouser pockets, for instance. And so I would likely end up keeping it in its case, in a bag, making it more of a hassle to use if I was going out. But even so, it's cool. It's a true handheld PC that you can game on. If you're like me and you like to tinker with things, then perhaps you'd enjoy owning it. There are a few handheld PCs coming to the market right now, but the only mass market device this size is a Switch. A Switch is a switch on and play device, and that's its point. This isn't that. You can just install the relatively small selection of games that will work out of the box. But most, well, the sort of games I like at least, will need some sort of tweaking, mostly to the control setup. So I suspect I'll use it on the sofa, mostly tinkering with it, and I likely enjoy every moment, but it does feel just like a first generation device. If Valve continues to work on this concept, and a lot of that will be improving the software experience, then this form factor could potentially work. I am a geek and had to have it. I put my money down on day one, but we'll know if this type of device has legs. If other companies start to create their own handheld PCs, big companies. If Joe Bloggs from down the road can walk into a shop, purchase one, and he doesn't need a computer degree to operate it, then perhaps, just perhaps, these won't just be a short-term fad. Interesting times ahead. And on that note, that's it. Thank you very much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed it, please press the like button. If you want to see more, please subscribe. If you press that ding dong bell button, you know what it does. See you next time. Bye, bye.